Hey guys, welcome to a special episode of Sorts of the Record Room. I'm of course your host Tony Giles TG. Today is Saturday the 23rd of August, and as you can see I'm sitting in my car. It is very early in the morning, but there is a good reason I'm in my car early in the morning on a Saturday. Vinyl Shakedown, which is a secondhand record store I visited many times in the past, picked up some great stuff. And in fact, I just posted a video over on the Memphis Record Pressing YouTube channel. I went on a 45 7-inch dig a week or so ago. You can go and check that one out now on their YouTube channel. But Grant from Vinyl Shakedown, he had posted on Instagram a couple of days ago that he had a new order Joy Division collection come into the store, and some of the stuff he showed in the video was pretty fantastic. Now, Joy Division are one of my favorite bands. I do own a complete Joy Division collection, if that's what you want to call it. You know, the band weren't actually around for very long, so there isn't a massive output, but there are some nice pieces that I would like to have, singles, foreign pressings, things like that. And when I saw the pictures online, it was kind of like, ooh, this could be a good opportunity to get some stuff in one go. You know, I'm not looking to make out like a bandit and, you know, not pay what this stuff is worth. I'm just looking to be able to get some of this stuff. So we are currently in Hinckley in Leicester. The store is in Burbage, which is the next town over or village over. It's not very far away. It's about five minutes away from here. It's very early. As I said, the store doesn't actually open for another hour, but I'm here early because I want to make sure that I'm in there as one of the first people, because I don't know if this stuff is going to fly out. It could do. There are a lot of very cool things. If you're a fan of New Order Joy Division, you will want to pick up some of this stuff. So stick with me the next time. Well, instantly for you anyway, the viewer. I'll probably be in the store filming some stuff, but for now I'm going to go have a coffee and hopefully come back and show you the goodies that I've picked up. Okay, guys, I'm back in the record room, as you can see, and what a morning that was. It's a couple of hours later from when I filmed. That was kind of crazy. That was so cool to see that many Joy Division New Order records, electronic as well, all related acts to Joy Division and New Order was absolutely fantastic. And hats off to Grant of Vinyl Shakedown for letting me come down early, film some stuff. There were people at the door wanting to get in and take a look, and had to tell them, I'm not here to pick anything up. No, it's all for everybody. But I did end up picking some stuff up. And the stuff I picked up, I'm thrilled with. I am super happy with. Some of these records will be playing records. Others will be things that go in the collection. I like to think of my record collection as a kind of a living archive. There are records that I play. There are records that I cherish and keep to one side. And this Joy Division stuff that I picked up is actually a mix of both. I did pick up a couple of New Order records. I'm not going to show those ones purely and simply because I'm not a massive New Order fan. I almost feel like a hypocrite for having them. But yeah, it's I only picked up a couple of 12 inches, so not a big deal. But when it comes to Joy Division, now Joy Division were obviously a band in the late 70s, early 80s. TG was a baby at the time, so I was not aware of Joy Division at the time. And I want to say sometime during the 80s, I may have been introduced to the music of Joy Division, but I honestly don't remember. My first memory of Joy Division is actually this 12-inch single here. So this is the 1995, I believe it's 95, yeah, reissue of Love Will Tear Us Apart. This is the first time I heard this song. Now, Love Will Tear Us Apart is one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite song. I have a couple of favorite songs. This is definitely one of them. And I actually owned this 12-inch back when it came out. I remember buying the single and being absolutely blown away by it. It's just a standard, I'll show you, it's just a standard black vinyl 12-inch. Sadly, this is not my original copy. I did pick this one up today, but very happy to have this one back in the collection, purely for nostalgia's sake, and you'll see why. It's not like I'm running low on copies of Love Will Tear Us Apart, but from hearing that song and then hearing Nine Inch Nails' cover of Dead Souls featured in the movie The Crow, I really kind of became interested in this band, this mythical Joy Division. I did a cursory amount of research at the time. The internet wasn't really a thing, so I found out as much as I could, found out about Ian Curtis's passing, Joy Division then going on and becoming New Order, who I was familiar with. They'd had lots and lots of hits at that time. But I decided that I wanted to check out more of this band, Joy Division. And at the time, reissues were kind of still plentiful, and I did buy a reissue of Unknown Pleasures, which I listened to, was completely blown away. In 95, I was very much a teen metal head. How old was I in 95? 16, 17 years old. I was very, very, very taken when I first heard Joy Division. And then over the years, I've become an even bigger fan, to the point where I actually did pick up a first pressing of the Unknown Pleasures album. Now, I didn't buy this today, so I won't show this off, but this is a true blue first pressing with the linen cover, and it's translucent. The disc is translucent. That's one of the ways to tell a first pressing, especially a Transco first pressing. If you hold them up to the light, they are actually translucent. They look black, but if you hold it up to light and light shines through it, you'll see that it's kind of a very, very deep burgundy red. I'm very happy to have a first press of the album in my collection. And as much as I love Closer, still, some of the other later Joy Division stuff, that album is kind of the album that really means the most to me. Especially me and my wife, we really connected over that album. But the stuff that went on sale today that I picked up, I'm going to show you that stuff now, because some of it is truly, truly mind-blowing. And I'm so thrilled to now be the custodian of this stuff. It was one collector that owned that entire collection. So that clip you saw earlier, one person owned all of that. First up is the album Closer. This was Joy Division's second album, came out in 1980, and this is a first pressing, which now I do own a reissue of this. But, you know, being a record collector, as I'm sure most of you will know and probably sympathize or agree with, there's nothing like a first pressing. There really isn't. I haven't had a chance to clean any of these up. I literally just got back about 20 minutes ago, but there you go. Nice to finally have a first press companion to my unknown pleasures. It's been a while, so I am glad to finally have this in the collection. And look, it's not like I couldn't have gone on Discogs or eBay and hunted this stuff down. I don't really enjoy doing that. I enjoy going out and looking and digging. That for me, that's where the joy really is. And then we've got here the Atmosphere single from, where is this one from? This is actually a UK, I think this is a repress as well of the original Atmosphere single. So you can see they're different cover from the reissued one. This was actually reissued, like, was it late 70s, was it early 80s? Doesn't have a date on this. Oh, actually, is this an American version? This might actually be an American 12-inch. I have not looked at everything thoroughly yet. I think this might be a US 12-inch though. A Factory Records US Inc. product, re-released in the United Kingdom. So it may be an English one, I'm not sure. But it is a reissue of the original Atmosphere 12-inch, which I do not have, and it does look like I'm going to have to start collecting the original singles, which is not something I originally intended to do, but after looking at all this stuff, I got to. Now, when it comes to albums, there isn't a lot that you can pick up with Joy Division. You know, they were kind of only around for a short period of time, but it is possible to get the Peel sessions. Obviously, John Peel, absolute legend, radio guru, god, whatever you want to call him. This is the Joy Division John Peel sessions, and this is actually the limited edition cover, and I think this is the special metallic finish limited edition sleeve. This is a 4-track EP. Love Will Tear Us Apart, 24 Hours Colony, and Sound of Music. Now, these tracks are available elsewhere, but this is where they first originated from. So very, very nice to have these. I'll show you the label as well, because this wasn't a factory release. This is actually on the Strange Fruit label, which I believe was actually John Peel's label, or he had something to do with it. Strange Fruit Records by arrangement with BBC Records and Tapes. Recorded on the 26th of November, 1979. Oh, very young TG would have been, well, too young to enjoy it then, but I can enjoy it now. And as I mentioned at the start of my little speech, Love Will Tear Us Apart is definitely my favorite Joy Division song, and is in my top 2-3 songs of all time. And I got it into my head a little while ago that I wanted to collect every vinyl variant, every release of Love Will Tear Us Apart. And luckily enough, I managed to tick off a couple today, bar the reissue. What I have here is an original Japanese pressing. As you can see here, Japanese 1984 with Obi. You see the Obi strip there. It just, I'll take this off. It's a very nice thick jacket, this one. Covers in not the best shape, but really not that bad. And the vinyl itself looks pretty much unplayed. So there you go. The Japanese pressing of Love Will Tear Us Apart. It does have the Jazz Rack or something stamp on the bottom, which is very, very cool. And then we also have here, is this the UK edition? Numbered New Zealand pressing. So it's a limited edition of 2000, and this is number 1126. Beautiful glossy cover. Stoked to have added these to the collection. And again, you know, you don't stumble across this stuff unless you're kind of at a record fair or something. You just don't see this stuff. Yes, you can buy it online, but where's the fun in that? No fun at all in that. So very, very happy with those. But wait, there is more, because 12 inches, albums, singles. There were a couple of other bits as well that took my eye, and I had to jump on. Now, I have spoken in the past on this, I'm sure I have, especially I know I have on social media and stuff, but I'm a big fan of test presses. Usually a test press will be the first version of that record off the stamper. So usually the quality is very, very high. And what I have here is actually a test press 7-inch of the Atmosphere single. I've actually listened to this and it sounds fantastic. Even all these years later, it sounds amazing. It does actually have its B-side as well. No real markings on this other than the factory matrix number. But yeah, that was pretty special to find. I'm a big fan of the song, so finding a test press of the 7-inch, always going to be a fan. And there's also this curio. The Warsaw EP is what I believe it's known as, but it's credited to JD. This originally came with something else. There was an album, and this was a bundled in 7-inch. This is a repress of that 7-inch. It's a different 7-inch, but the tracks are the same. And there is a wrong track credited on this as well. It's a 4-track EP featuring She's Lost Control and Transmission. So there you go, JD Warsaw. And while I was there, Grant was kind enough to throw this in because I'd picked up a bunch of stuff, and I'm really, really stoked about this because I don't find stuff like this. But Joy Division Shadowplay, the story of Joy Division from 1988, and I believe this was actually pressed in Germany or printed in Germany. And what's cool about this is it actually comes with an original like postcard mailer where you could mail in and ask for information about other bands. This one talks about the a Joy Division book here, 110 pages in color. As you said, You're No Good For Me. But there are other books available on the back. There's Joy Division, The Cure, The Smiths. So I think this is like a fan-made book, fanzine from Italy. So very cool to just have that inside, because where are you going to find this stuff? Where are you going to find this stuff? I don't know. And having a quick flick through the book, it's awesome. It really is. You've got here a set list written by Ian. I've never seen Ian's writing before. Some great pictures, and it also has the story of the bands, the story of Martin Hannett, but it also has the discography as well. Like there's some bootlegs in here. I believe there are some lyrics in here as well, which is super cool. Yeah, so there you go. You've got some lyrics there as well. Very cool, very odd little book. You know, I'd like to think that I know a fair amount about Joy Division from bits and pieces I've read over the years, but I can always learn more. Always learn more. You've got the Atmosphere, She's Lost Control 12-inch there. It's got official releases. It's got some bootleg releases in here. It's got some crazy stuff as well. Have to track this one down. The Polish edition of Love Will Tear Us Apart. Definitely one I will have my eye on. So big thank you to Grant for throwing that one in. And look, I know this video isn't going to be for everyone. I get it. A lot of people don't enjoy Joy Division's music. That's totally fine. Music is for everybody, as I always say. But I am so thrilled with the stuff that I picked up today. I saw some truly killer stuff, and there were a bunch of guys there bright and early, ready to add to their collections. And it was so fun to see that many people kind of collecting. It really was. I love it. Watching people dig. I don't know, it's kind of a sickness, but are you a fan of Joy Division? Are you more of a New Order kind of person? Do let me and everyone know in the comments down below. But that's it for this episode. So thank you once again to Grant from Vinyl Shakedown. If you haven't had a chance, get down there. The shop is in Burbage, which is in Leicester, near the town of Hinckley. They don't do online, so you will have to go down there in person, but I guarantee you will get something good. I've never left that shop empty-handed, ever. So If you do go down there, tell them TG sent you. But that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me once again. Stay gold and spin those blackest circles.